Order members, order members. We now in the committee of the whole house on this particular bill, the Law of Succession Amendment Bill 2019. And Honorable Peter Kaluma is the man of the moment. Yes.
Clause 3.
Honorable members, I propose a question that clause 3 be part of the bill. We have an amendment by Honorable Kaluma. Clause 3. You may move the amendment to clause 3.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
And in the amended form, I am aware that
yes,
there is in an amended form as approved by the Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that clause 3 of the bill be amended in the amended form. Honorable Speaker, and that is at subclause 2, to read that a person not listed under subsection 1 may qualify as a dependent for purposes of this part if the person satisfies the court that he or she cohabited with the deceased for a period of at least 7 years prior to the deceased's death. Honorable Speaker, if I would be allowed to make a further amendment there, it is 3 years. 3 years prior to the deceased's death.
Honorable Kaluma, are you saying over and above what is you're moving? In the amended form, you want to do still a further? 7 to 3. Okay.
I've consulted. It's a family matter. We buy in when it is.
That's fine, but I'll need it written after that, so that then it is on record. But please proceed.
Yes. B is reputed by the family of the deceased as having been in such cohabitation and was being maintained by the deceased prior to his or her death. Honorable Speaker, this amendment is informed by the contributions made on the floor. I'm abandoning the initial amendments because on consultations they don't change anything much in terms of how the law has been approaching the matter. But Honorable Speaker, in as much as we are defining spouse to have the definition given to it in the Marriage Act, we also don't want to completely shut out people who may not have formalized marriages and are recognized even by the deceased families as people who can, by law and under the law, benefit from the property of the deceased. So I'm balancing the need to keep the marriage, but also allow persons who are in lawful, who should be lawful dependents, like people who did not just formalize their marriage before death, to also benefit from the deceased, so long as the party was introduced to the family of the deceased. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
What is out of order, Honorable Mili?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just to guide us, I really don't have a problem with Honorable what Kaluma is saying in the last bit of moving the cohabitation from 7 to 3. Or it would even have been better if it was 2. But that's not the issue. I heard when you are starting, you indicated that he's going to move his amendment in the form that is approved by the Speaker. And Chair, I don't seem to have that. Is it possible so that we move together so that we know what we are dealing with? Because it seems like he's only moving one item out of his bill. Does that mean that all the other previous amendments are withdrawn? I think we need clarity, whether all the other amendments are withdrawn, so that the only thing that now is seeking clarity on is a situation where you have cohabitees. I hope it's clear.
Yeah,
yes, Honorable Speaker, I started by indicating that the amendments which are indicated on the order paper all stand withdrawn. There was a subsequent amendment approved by the Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I'm told that they are being circulated. I'm sorry, Honorable Mili, this is coming late. So that we have only one amendment affecting subclause 2 of the bill.
That's fair. You Honorable Kaluma, you did actually my work.
Yes.
by actually directing the sergeant at arms to circulate. Indeed, that is what is fair. So the members have a copy, so that then we move together. Honorable Chris, is it on the same? Is it you want to contribute, or is an issue of?
Do you have it already? Yes, sir.
No, if it's about contribution, let me propose. Let me propose first, Honorable Chris, then I give you a chance. I thought you are still raising the same issue. Honorable members, I will propose a question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honorable Kaluma. I can tell there is quite a bit of interest on this. We'll give a few. Honorable Chris.
Thank you, Chairman, for this opportunity. I remember I seconded this bill when Honorable Kaluma moved it. And Honorable Kaluma, as Honorable Mili has clearly put it, the circulated version, Mr. Chairman, it is showing at least 7 years. So I'm assuming you had allowed him to be changed from 7 to 3. Further amendment. Now, some of us feel the 3 years are too long. We should reduce to 2 years, Mr. Speaker, so that so long as we have seen these cases. I remember last time in the Marriage Act in the last Parliament, which was being moved by Honorable Nyokabi, it was actually 6 months. And I was just talking to Honorable Mili, reminding her in the last Parliament. So really, it was actually 6 months. So if we go for 3 years, Mr. Speaker, this is too long. I think we should reduce it to 2 years. We also have some people, Mr. Speaker, we also have some families that can be together, and maybe because of financial constraints. And they are already
Honorable
lawful.
Chris, Honorable TJ Kajwang, what is out of order?
It was 6 months.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I just rise on point of order on procedure. We are doing well, but there is one procedure that we seem not to be getting all the time. This is the procedure of further amendment. It denies us debate on the issues which are subject to further amendment. I would have expected Honorable Kaluma to move his amendment as has been written on the paper. Then after that, he should rise to propose a further amendment, and then we subject this further amendment to debate, because you can see that there is interest from members, including member from Kimilili, that we need to investigate this issue of how many years or how many months. Yes, so can we get the order right, first of all, by Honorable Kaluma pronouncing himself as is in the paper that he has given. Then he should rise positively and say what is his further amendment. Then that further amendment, first of all, we debate on it, we finish it, and then we go back to the original amendment as proposed. Mr. Speaker, sir, I ask that we go back to the procedure.
Well, Honorable Kaluma, even before he moved, he had actually not moved the very first one. He actually, when he stood, said he would like to move it now afresh, and that is why I have signed it. Is it the 3 years, Honorable Kaluma? So what is on the floor is actually what he referred as further amendment, because I allowed it, and that I have approved. But Honorable Chris, as Honorable Kaluma is, Honorable TJ Kajwang is saying, if you have a further amendment, we must deal with Honorable Kaluma's first. So we have Honorable Kaluma's on the floor as we speak. But before I get to my right, let me give Minority Leader, Honorable Minority Leader.
Chairman, maybe I'm a bit confused, but personally, I'm so much against this opening space for a lot of litigation in matters of succession, where you now want to bring in those who have been cohabiting. If you want to marry, marry when you are alive and have as many wives as you can. This idea of looking for shortcuts, we are creating space for people to go to court. Your dependents are suffering. The courts will take forever just because we have created some space in law for cohabitation, people cohabiting, whether it is for 1 year, 3 years, it doesn't matter. For me, we need to be very clear and put it in law that you marry. If you want to marry, marry. If you have not married, please keep those your other issues away. If you allow yourself to be misused until someone dies, don't claim anything from that estate. If you someone who loves you should marry you if you want to stay with him. If not, enjoy when it lasts. I mean, Mr. Speaker, I'm against the whole thing. I don't know how I can now oppose the whole thing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I oppose.
Let's have Honorable Sankoko. And Honorable Opondo Kaluma, it is important to listen to what members are saying, because I'll give you a chance to speak to the same amendment at the end.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Chair, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And Honorable Chair, the minority leader, Honorable Mbadi, had stolen words from my mouth, Honorable Speaker, because we are opening up litigation, Honorable Speaker. It is not a must for you to have a very expensive wedding. If somebody loves someone, even if after 3 months, they can as well have a wedding in the AG chambers, they can have the marriage certificate, using even 100 shillings. So, Honorable Speaker, for me, I ask the members of this House, we reject this completely. Completely reject it and throw it out, because we are opening litigation. Okay. If you are loved, you'll be married. If you are not married, then you are not needed. And if somebody did not love you in life, he will not love you in death. So just keep off.
Okay, very well. Honorable Owino.
Thank you, Chair. I want Honorable Kaluma to listen to this, Chair. Number B is talking about reputation. Chair, how do you qualify reputation in a family? They are going to disagree there, and that is what my minority leader was talking about as litigation. Also, number C, it says was being maintained. Chair, how do you measure maintenance? Is it one-time rent? Is it a package of sugar? You can't qualify all this. So okay. You drop this.
Okay, Honorable Mirio, we will have 2 others, and we must make progress. Yes, Honorable Mirio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, first I request that you may protect me from the Kisumu politics. Please protect me from the Kisumu and
Is that by Eraisha? Order members.
Kisumu and Siaya politics is interfering with my contribution.
Well, I don't see Kisumu politics. I see some 2 members there. Maybe that's what you refer as Kisumu politics. But Honorable Miri, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, before I speak to the substance, there's a way in which the moving of this thing is a bit confusing, the way Kaluma has done. But I want members to be very clear. I think sometimes we are the ones who pass the law, and then we don't understand the law that we have passed. Mr. Speaker, let me just indicate, if with your permission, let me just remove this so I'm clearer. Under the Marriage Act 2014 of the laws of Kenya, you can marry in 4 different ways. Mr. Speaker, you can marry if you go to the office of the Attorney General or in church. You can marry under Islamic law. You can marry under customary law. You can marry under Hindu law. And you can marry under cohabitation. And I want to explain to you. It is say in interpretation section 2 of the Marriage Act, cohabit means to live in an arrangement with an unmarried couple, where an unmarried couple lives together in long-term relationship that resembles a marriage. It is legal. So what this law seeks, and I want to declare, Chairman, that I am not a cohabitee. I am a first wife married in church, but I will defend the rights of women who are cohabiting with other men who will be left suffering with other children, because it becomes our responsibility. In law, Chairman, we have protected cohabitation, not girlfriends, not slave queens, not people who emerge at funerals declaring their wives when they were not staying. When you are cohabited consistently with a man over a reasonable period of time, then you are a wife. What we need to agree as a house, because the Marriage Act did not put it, because members didn't agree, is how long is that period. For me, what Honorable Kaluma is suggesting for 3 years is okay. If you have stayed with a man for 3 years, you are not selling mangoes. You are living as a man and wife.
Okay, very well. Very well. I'm deliberately giving a few more members on this one, because I can tell the interest. Honorable Manje, I'll come this way. Honorable Manje, we'll give like 2 other members, then we'll make progress on this one.
Thank you, Chair. I think also when it comes to serious cohabitation, it should be given enough time. 3 years is just a short time for a serious cohabitation. To avoid games that are being played on the ground, it is better we detain 7 or we forget about these crowds.
Yes, Honorable Udo.
Chair,
briefly.
Chair,
Remember, this is not second reading.
Yeah, I want to
appeal. This is committee of the whole, so just briefly.
Yes, sure. Yes, Chair, I want to appeal to my colleagues that if we don't carry this amendment, we'll return the amendment that is in the published bill, which is so fake, which is so imprecise, anybody from anywhere will rise up and claim to be a dependent or a wife or anything like that. Cohabitation is known and accepted in the Marriage Act. We are simply carrying that into this Law Succession Act. So I urge my colleagues, let's consider the 3 years that have been proposed, which is a reasonable time, and happens quite often all over this country.
Okay.
Let us not hide under pretending we don't know.
Honorable Kadri. Honorable Kadri.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Kaluma, we have been working with him very closely on this bill. But allow me, Chair, to disagree with Honorable Kaluma on a few things. And probably we should be introducing an amendment on top of another amendment. And I'm on these grounds. Clause 3, 2B. 2B reading is reputed by the family of the deceased as having been such cohabitation. The history of Africans, you know the way they behave. Even a woman who is legally married, your family will always be the first people to throw you and your children and your properties outside. And for that reason, that is why we are saying, if you want to protect the interests of your Mipango, your Kando, and all those things, come out clear here, without the approval of anybody. The approver is the one who approves at night. That man who approves and who stamps at night should be the approver even during the day, and in his absence should be, and not a situation of whereby you are subjecting women to ridicule in the society and families.
Honorable Miri, information to who? Honorable Warogoro, do you need the information from Honorable Miri?
At the cafeteria, thank you.
Not here, okay. Honorable members, let's make progress really on this one, because we must make progress. Honorable members, Honorable Opondo Karuma, before I put the question, please.
Yeah, honorable members, I know we are at the committee of the whole house, and I thank you, Chair, for the indulgence, because this is a very important bill affecting society and the family. Honorable Millie, you'll inform me. Just a minute, I explain to them. So, honorable members, first, unlike the position of the law now, we have defined spouse, which has been abused, to mean anybody who claims to have been, depending on you, to mean to have the meaning assigned to it, to the word husband and wife under the Marriage Act. So we have made a restriction there. In terms of the other clauses, I've essentially repeated what is in the current law. Now, when this matter was debated, honorable members, I beg you, and an most honorable body, because he was not there at the second reading, issues were raised about subclause 2, which I was amending. Because if you look at it, it says that anybody who can prove the deceased was maintaining them for a period of 2 years prior to the deceased's death will qualify to be a dependent. And this is opening a floodgates again. So essentially, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Mbadi is saying we delete. But we are Africans. Please let me explain to you, Mbadi.
Honorable Pondo, proceed.
Yeah, the problem is that...
proceed.
Yes.
Let
we are Africans.
Consulting.
Honorable
Proceed.
Speaker, like myself, my mother is wedded in church, but we are in a polygamous family. It would necessarily qualify as bigamy, but these stepmothers of mine live with my mom in the same compound. can we wake up because of this law of succession to say they are disentitled completely? And this is affecting even members here. So what we agreed is that if cohabitation, what Honorable Speaker we call marriage by reputation under the Evidence Act, can be established, and there is evidence of maintenance, and these people who are reputed by the families, not friends they can crop as married people, then they should have some leeway. And maybe I caution the members that you reject this improvement based on the presentations which were made here. We revert to the earlier situation where anybody can claim. So I beg you support.
Honorable members, I will put the question. Honorable members, I will put the question. I put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Kaluma. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. This is not now on the amendment. Honorable members, I will put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. Order members. Order members. Yes, what is it? I hope members know that particular clause, that putting the question, order members, because it is important. I can tell members are quite excited around the discussion around this clause. But it is important to follow what I am putting. On the first one, let me just take you slowly so that members, you carry along everyone. What we did on the first question is that what Honorable Kaluma had proposed as amendment was rejected. That means we go back to what is in Honorable Kaluma's bill without the amendment. So that is what now that we go back to what is now in the bill. What is now in the bill now? The amendment is rejected. We go back to what is now in the bill, but I need to put the question now so that it remains as it is. So that members, it is important to call it, I can tell there's a bit of excitement on that, and I'll take the liberty. I'll take the liberty to put the question, that question, again, in light of what I have explained. Honorable members, yes, what is it, Honorable?
Just confused, if you could help me. I do not... Chair, I do not know whether I'm the only one who is getting confused. I was of the view that we were dealing with a further amendment that Honorable Kaluma brought in the middle of things, because he had a written one which was saying 7 years. Then he rose to say that now he would prefer 3 months. Was 3 months or something? 3 years. So in my view, we were dealing with that further amendment. After we are through with that further amendment, now we go to what Kaluma is proposing. That was my thinking. Then we go to what Honorable Kaluma, would you, through Mr. Chairman?
No, proceed. You are speaking to me. Proceed.
Yes,
Honorable
Mr.
Kaluma.
He is very excited.
Honorable Kaluma is quite excited this afternoon.
He is extremely excited.
Honorable Kaluma, it is important to listen to what Honorable TJ Kajong, although I'll give direction.
So in terms of record, I thought we were dealing with a further amendment of 7 years to 3 years. Then after that 3 years, which we now have agreed that now we are talking about, that amendment has been defeated, meaning that we are in 7 years. So it is the 7 years that now, Mr. Chair, you then can put the question to us whether we accede to that amendment or not, and then we go to the bill. So I'm getting confused. I don't know if the Chair, you could give guidance on this.
Order. There is no point of order over another point of order. Let me explain. So that members, what Honorable TJ Kajong has raised, it is important. And I can tell the excitement. Just for a minute, just listen to what I say on this one, especially on what Honorable TJ Kajong has raised. Now, what was in the order paper by Opodo Kaluma, when he rose, even without moving it, actually said and indicated, it is on record, that he would like to move it in the amended form. Honorable TJ Kajwang, if you read standing order number 48, it allows the speaker to give that member to move it in the amended form. That is what I did. And when the Honorable Kaluma moved and the members discussed, debated, I put the question, and that was rejected in totality. In effect, what that means, Honorable Nyikal, please listen first. Now, in effect, what that means is that the amendments in totality, what Opodo Kaluma had raised, have fallen. What that means now, we go back now to the provisions that are in the bill, clause 3. And so, because clause 3 are already in the bill, the question I put is a global question, that clause 3 be part of the bill. And for that reason, I'm going to put that question again, that clause 3, which is already in the bill, that it be part of, clause 3 be part of the bill. So, and that is very important. Members, I will, what is it, Majority Leader?
No.
What is it?
I wish members, no, let's move in some systematic order. Because, because there are two issues, Honorable Chair.
Yes, proceed, Majority Leader.
And just so that we don't throw the baby with the bathwater, if you look at the amendment by Honorable Kaluma, has actually two parts. There is A, the 1 and 2, right? And it will be good for this House to pronounce itself in terms of those, because they are very distinct. They are not together. If you look at what's within the part 1, the A1, it's basically cleaning up the bill by itemizing the same issue which nobody has a problem with. When you go to 2, 2 is the one that's bringing in this issue of the other dependents. But on 1, it's talking of the parents, the stepchildren, and all that, and making it neater in terms of how they qualify. Yeah? In the absence of the children, what happens? In the absence of children and
order, Majority Leader. Before you proceed,
I would propose.
I hope you are not referring to the amendments.
No, I would propose.
I hope you are not referring to the amendments because the House has already resolved on the amendments.
Oh, I see.
What we are dealing with is now what is in the bill.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, okay. We have already. The House has already moved. So, honorable members, I will put the question now: what is in the bill? Clause 3. Honorable members, I will put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. With as many as of that opinion say aye. With as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The nays have it.
Clause 2.
Honorable members, all the members, I will propose a question. I will propose a question that clause 2 be part of the bill. We are now moved from clause 3. Now we are in clause 2. Honorable members, I will propose a question that, the title be the title of the bill, and there is no amendment to it. I therefore put the question that the title be the title of the bill. With as many as of that opinion say aye. With as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Honorable members, I propose a question that clause 1 be part of the bill. We have no amendment to that as well. I therefore put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. With as many as of that opinion say aye. With as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members. Honorable members, we are done with that bill. Mover. Where is Opodo Karuma? Honorable Opodo, the mover. Honorable Opodo Karuma, this is quite this is quite a movement. You are quite excited this afternoon and quite nomadic.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I thank you.
No, it's about the moving, the reporting.
Where is the thing for reporting? Where is the thing for reporting? Give it to me. Yes, Honorable Speaker, I beg to report to the Committee of the Whole House.
No, that is the top one. You're moving, reporting.
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Law of Succession Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2019, and its approval thereof. There is no amendment. And its approval thereof. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, I put the question which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Law of Succession Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2019, and its approval thereof without amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker,